Hello everyone, this is Nelson from the College Panda, and you're watching part 6 of the SAT Calculator series for the TI-84. So in this video, I'll be giving an overview of the College Panda Calculator program and walking you through some of the features that I haven't already mentioned. So diving in, we'll bring up our list of programs and run the Panda SAT program, and the first thing that we see is the fundamental menu option. This is a collection of common math operations that you've probably encountered throughout your math classes and that you've probably had to do on the SAT. So we have simplifying a radical, Pythagorean theorem, percent change, distance between 2 points, finding the midpoint, and converting between radians and degrees. These are all pretty much self-explanatory, so we won't go through all of them, but let's try one or two so you see how they work. Let's try simplifying a radical, and it's going to ask us for the number underneath the square root. We'll input 32, and it gives us the equivalent for root 2. This is helpful for when you have answer choices that are expressed not in decimals, but in terms of square roots. Let's try another one. Let's try converting radians to degrees. And 2 pi radians, of course, is 360 degrees, and that is what we get. Next is the lines menu option, but since we already explored it in part 5, we won't cover that again here. We also touched on systems of 2 equations in a previous video, but let's demonstrate it one more time. So obviously it's going to help us solve a system of 2 equations. We have to input the coefficients, 3, 6, 9, 2, 5, 8. And the solution turns out to be x equals -1 and y equals 2. Moving on, we have the quadratics menu, which allows us to input a quadratic in standard form, vertex form, or factored form. So let's go through these one by one. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. We'll say a is 1, b is 6, and c is 3. What this outputs is all the information that we could possibly want from that one quadratic. So it did the quadratic formula for us to give us the roots, it completed the square to give us the vertex form, and it also gave us the vertex, discriminant, and the y-intercept. We can also input a quadratic in vertex form. And again, we get the same information. We see that there are no real roots. We see the vertex form and the vertex and the discriminant and y-intercept. Remember, for a discriminant greater than 0, there are 2 real roots or solutions. When it's equal to 0, there is 1 real solution. And when it's less than 0, there are no real solutions. Finally, we can enter a quadratic in factored form. And we see all the same information that we saw earlier. Getting to the circles menu, we can find the arc length, the area of a sector, the equation of a circle, the center and the radius of a circle, and whether a point is inside a circle in the coordinate plane. So let's go through these. Arc length, it's going to ask us for a central angle. We'll say 60. The radius will be 6, and we get an arc length of 2 pi. Area of a sector, again, it's going to ask us for a central angle. We'll say 90 this time. Radius will be 8, and we get an area of 16 pi. Now, if we want to find an equation of a circle, we can do it from a raw equation, from its center and radius, or from the endpoints of a diameter. So raw equation, it's going to complete the square twice for us, once for the x terms, once for the y terms, in order to give us that standard form of a circle. So let's say a is 6, b is 8, and c is 10. And here we go, we get the equation of the circle, which is x plus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 15, the center and the radius. We can also find the equation from a given center and a given radius. So if we input a center and a radius, we get the equation of the circle. And if we want to get the equation from the endpoints of a diameter, we can also do that. So -3, 6, and 9, and 8. And there we go. Now, if we want to go in reverse and we have the equation of the circle and we just want the center and radius from that, we can go to option 4. So we type in the equation and it gives us back the center and the radius. Finally, we can check whether a point is inside a circle. And let's check if the origin is inside or outside the circle in the coordinate plane. It turns out that the point is outside the circle. So that's going to be it for the College Panda calculator program. Everything that you see in this program was tailor-made specifically for the SAT. All the menu options apply directly to question types and concepts you see on the exam. And as you just saw, it does time-consuming stuff like completing the square, the quadratic formula, and finding the area of a sector all automatically for you. So it really cuts down on the time you spend on tough questions, and it saves you from making stupid mistakes. We put a ton of effort into creating this calculator program to improve your scores, and we're confident that you won't find another program out there or even a collection of programs that will be as helpful as this one. It's pretty much the only one you need, as it does everything a calculator is capable of doing for you on the SAT. The last thing I'll say is that it does come with a calculator workbook so that you can practice, learn when to use the program, and just get comfortable with it before test day. The questions you'll see in the workbook, which are based on actual past SAT questions, will teach you exactly which question types to use the calculator for. So make sure to check out the description below this video for details on how to get the program and the workbook. Anyway, I really hope you found this video series helpful. This has been Nelson with the College Panda. Thank you very much for watching.